so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Color guard. Order. On.
Detail. Order. Mark.
Color guard. Right. Hey. Hold. On.
Detail. Rep.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. Have a seat. My name is Jody Richart, and I'm the Police Academy Director here at Grand Rapids Community College. We are honored to be able to dedicate this memorial to our fallen alumni and to share this time with so many friends, alumni, and our law enforcement community. To begin our program, I'd like to introduce Dr. Stephen Ender, President of Grand Rapids Community College.
Well, thank you, Jody, and welcome, everyone. Before I get along with some formal remarks, just a couple of comments, if you will. Jody brought this plan to me probably 3 years ago, and she was determined that we would find a way to get the work done to be able to have the day that we're having today. So it really, I think, would be wonderful if we all acknowledged her work and leadership to make this an event that is important to everyone that is here with us today. Jody? And what a wonderful day she brought to us. On behalf of Grand Rapids Community College, its Board of Trustees, the Police Academy, our students and faculty, it is my extreme honor to welcome you today to the dedication of this wonderful memorial. This project is a labor of devotion that has brought together our campus, our cadets, our academic staff, and the West Michigan law enforcement community. While we are proud that they have achieved their goal to create this memorial, we wish there was no reason for one. But as the recent events at Umpqua Community College illustrate, no corner of our world is safe from violence, and we are mindful that our police academy is training students who will be asked to meet and protect us from these dangers. These academy students have taken it upon themselves to create this memorial to alumni Bruce Van Popering, Robert Kozminski, and Eric Zapata. Through the training and examples provided by our academy staff, I have no doubt that each of these students will also serve as a memorial to these officers' legacy of duty and sacrifice. And I have no doubt that the fallen officers are looking down at this gathering today, smiling, wondering how did we get this kind of day in Michigan, and grateful for everything that you did as they were preparing to go into law enforcement. I also think it's very fitting that the memorial is here. This building is used extensively for training of cadets. I think it's important that our cadets really understand, internalize the profession they've chosen. I'm always just humbled by folks that are willing to put their life on the line for us, that run in rather than away. The dangers of that are with them every day, and I want them to be reminded every day that this is something that they have to be alert to, follow procedures, follow the training. We don't want anybody else's name subscribed on that memorial. So thank you so much for being with us. This is just a wonderful day. We are very proud to share it with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. As I've watched this memorial being built in the last few months, I've often wondered what I was going to say. I could picture the families. I could picture Connie and Katrina and the Kozminskis. And I could picture President Ender and the recruits standing behind me in their white shirts and the blue and brown uniforms standing at attention. And I tried to remember how this idea started. I think it was actually about 4 years ago when I was attending Officer Zapata's funeral with the 2011 recruit class. I remember looking at their faces, and I remember wondering, were they thinking why they were getting into this profession? Were they wondering why they were going to school for this? Were they picturing their own families dealing with this kind of loss? Or were they picturing themselves responding to that deadly scene? As we were ushered into the large auditorium with hundreds, maybe even thousands of police officers, I could feel the pride and the honor bestowed on them to be part of this amazing law enforcement community. They were attending a funeral for a fallen brother, someone they had never met, but who had come from the same place and who had gave the same oath that they would do just a few months later. It took me 4 years to put this memorial into action, but as often as I tell my students, and I've told them so many times this week, everything happens for a reason. The reason it took me 4 years to do this is because I was waiting for these 32 white shirts behind me. They are the ones that made this happen. They are the ones that fundraised for the last year to make this happen and to be here today. We now have a place on campus for our recruits and our community to honor our 3 fallen alumni. My goal is for GRCC to continue to honor our graduates who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, while instilling a sense of duty, honor, and pride in every recruit class that comes next. Few professions train young men and women to intentionally deal with the evil of society. This memorial is a daily reminder to our recruits that they have chosen a profession that at any day could be their last day, and that their courage, integrity, and honor will never be forgotten. I'd like to introduce you to one of our leaders, Mr. Jeffrey Bilesma.
Thank you, Director. Session 82 is proud to have this memorial here today for our alumni and their loved ones. Their sacrifice has encouraged us to give it our all and to never quit. However, the memorial isn't the only way we honor them. It is merely a physical representation. We honor them with our determination and willingness to succeed. As we continue to grow in our future departments, we will always represent where we came from. Not only will we be representing GRCC, but also we will be representing our fallen alumni. Knowing that, We will continue to hold our integrity and character at a high standard to become the best men and women to serve in our communities. Thank you.
We are honored to have representatives from the departments where our alumni were employed, and they are here to tell you just a little bit about the men and women whose names are engraved on this memorial. I'd like the three of them to come up at the same time. Director Mark Harold from East Grand Rapids Department of Public Safety, Chief David Rahinsky from Grand Rapids Police Department, and Deputy Chief Carrie-Ann Thomas from the Department of Kalamazoo Public Safety.
Good afternoon. Grand Rapids Community College Police Academy staff and students, fellow officers, loved ones of fallen officers, members of the community, and other distinguished guests. Today, we honor Officers Van Popering, Kozminski, and Zapata for paying the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. In doing so, we also honor all those who have died in service to our nation's communities. This memorial is a reminder of the risks that officers face every day. It is also a reminder of the commitment our community has to honoring their service, and a reminder that we have a duty to officers who don't make it home to make sure their legacies live on. East Grand Rapids Public Safety Officer Bruce Van Popering was directing traffic on July 4, 1994, after the city's annual 4th of July festivities, when he was struck by a vehicle. He died of his injuries 2 weeks later on July 17 at the age of 57. Officer Van Popering started as a firefighter and then trained to also be a police officer when our city consolidated its police and fire departments into a public safety department. Bruce was an outstanding public safety officer who was committed to the job and who cared deeply about our residents and their safety. His service to our community and his dedication to his profession are what all police cadets should aspire to be. Officer Van Popering left behind a wife, a son, and a daughter. His wife, Faith, and his daughter, Katrina, are here today. We are grateful they are able to join us as we remember their beloved husband and father. The East Grand Rapids Public Safety Department is grateful to the staff and students of the Grand Rapids Community College Police Academy for working hard to make this memorial a possibility. Your commitment to making sure that the sacrifice of Officer Van Popering and that of Officers Kozminski and Zapata is not forgotten. It is a tremendous service to not only our department and the Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo departments, but also the entire community. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. In the fall of 1999, Robert Kozminski applied for a position as a Grand Rapids police officer. An integral part of the application process is for the applicant to come to the GRPD and write a brief autobiography so they can be reviewed for their motivation for being a police officer, as well as to see what's important in their lives. I'd like to read some of the excerpts from Robert's handwritten paper. It's always been a dream of mine to be a Grand Rapids police officer. I've lived and worked in Grand Rapids my entire life. Therefore, I am familiar with the city, the streets, businesses, and people of the community. I'd be honored to serve and protect the city of Grand Rapids. I was born on October 10th, 1977. My birth took place in Grand Rapids. I was born into a large family. My father's name is Richard, and my mother's name is Maria. I have 3 older sisters, Kristen, Amy, and Nicole. I also have 3 older brothers, Daniel, David, and Andrew. I was raised in a strong Catholic family. After kindergarten, I attended St. Anthony Catholic School. I was educated at St. Anthony's from 1st grade through 7th grade. During those years, I played basketball, football, and went on the Kanawha Hills Rocket Football League. At Kanawha Hills High School, I was a hardworking student who excelled in track and field. I won medals for my varsity letter. I began work in an effort to save enough money to pay my way through college. I did this to pursue my lifelong goal of becoming a police officer here in the city. After almost 2 years of full-time work, I began the police academy at Grand Rapids Community College. I achieved the Dean's List status twice and graduated with an overall grade point average of 3.51. During my second year of the academy, I began working my first law enforcement position as a cadet with the Kent County Sheriff's Office. I'm in the hiring process with the Grand Rapids Police Department in an effort to fulfill my lifelong goal to protect and serve the people, businesses, cultures, and community as a whole of the city of Grand Rapids. Officer Kozminski was killed in the line of duty, heroically responding to a family's cry for help at 1:40 a.m. on July 8, 2007. It will never be forgotten. Thank you.
On April 18, 2011, at approximately 11:18 p.m., public safety officers responded to the 1400 block of Hayes Park in reference to a shot fired call. The first responding officer on scene encountered a subject on a porch and asked him if he had heard gunshots. The subject suddenly started firing a weapon at the officer. The officer returned fire and radioed for assistance as he sought cover. The suspect then produced a long gun and came towards the officer. The officer continued to return fire as the suspect fled between the houses in the alley, where he encountered another public safety officer, PSO Eric Zapata. The suspect proceeded to fatally shoot PSO Zapata as he was coming to the aid of a fellow officer, and then took his own life. PSO Eric Zapata was a 10-year veteran of Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety. He was the father of 3, a beloved son, a brother, an uncle, a friend. PSO Zapata was the first officer to be killed in the line of duty in the city of Kalamazoo. In the over 4 years since he gave his life in the line of duty, Kalamazoo Public Safety and the citizens of Kalamazoo have rallied to honor the service, dedication to duty, and the memory of our fallen brother. We are honored that GRCC, where Eric began his road to service, is also honoring him and his other fallen classmates. As we often think of GRCC and other officers talk, they will say, "Oh, I graduated from GRCC, that's where Eric went." It's been 4 short years, and our department is still grieving, and we appreciate the memorials and the service and everyone here to honor him today. Thank you.
Thank you to all your chiefs for coming. This concludes our ceremony, but we hope that you will all join us inside for a dedication and a reception. So please stand for a rifle salute, followed by taps and the Amazing Grace.